Mike Cutler, Sue Hoffelmeyer, Sam Lee, Jay Shaffritz, and Mike Singer. The way the evening will work is this. In alphabetical order, each candidate will have 3 minutes to introduce themselves. Members in attendance, that's all of you, will have 1 minute to ask a question. Questions will be directed to each and every candidate. In rotating order, each candidate will have a chance to be first in responding. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to respond. With 5 candidates responding, this will be a long meeting, so we will strictly adhere to all time limits. We ask that you please be concise and stick to your questions only. The microphone is there in the center. Please line up in an orderly fashion to ask your questions. At the end of the question and answer period, each candidate, in reverse alphabetical order, will have 2 minutes for closing statements. We have 2 members of the election committee working the timer and time cards. They are Janet Seidman and Lenny Franklin. We have Arn Lieberman. He is going to be our police officer. And he will turn off the microphone if people go on and on and on and don't ask their question. We ask that the audience, each questioner, and each candidate be polite and respectful of each other. We will start off by having the candidates introduce themselves in alphabetical order, then in a rotating order for answering questions. Let us begin, and we will start with Mike Cutler.
Good evening. Sound system sounds pretty darn good. For the past 2.5 years, I've served on the board of directors here in Siena. I believe I brought to Siena a fresh start and a fresh attitude. During my term of service, the board of directors approved the hiring of a new general manager, the renovation of the community center, painting the exterior of all the community buildings, and a new landscaping palette to freshen up our look. What I'm most proud of is our effort to be more open, more transparent, and more inclusive. Our board meetings are sometimes a bit messy, as you've seen. I think that's because we don't line up the votes before the meetings. You've heard board members openly disagree with each other, and that's democracy. We've admitted our missteps and fixed them along the way. We got a late start with our renovations after learning we should have hired a general contractor, and we stumbled in getting Michael Nagu licensed as our new general manager. The board also conducted town hall meetings to seek more input from residents about landscaping, the use of the community center, to introduce Michael, and to discuss the future of water. Coffee with the board is now called Tuesday Morning Chat because it now includes the general manager. And we challenged our committees to be more involved and active, and they've responded. I don't expect everyone to approve all of the decisions by the board of directors. There's always room for debate, and I'm always willing to listen. Here's what I think we should be doing in 2015. We should review our management contract. It should be more transparent and better protect Siena's interests. Siena will continue its landscaping upgrade. That's a multi-year plan. You should expect a new, more user-friendly Siena website. And finally, we need to upgrade our fire alarm system and develop a community-wide disaster plan. Each year I've served on the board of directors, I've discovered how much work is involved to volunteer as your representative. If you think I should continue on your behalf, thank you. However, if you think someone else is more capable or it's just time for a change, I will not be offended. Winning or losing an election will never define me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Next is Sue Hoffelmeyer.
A famous author once wrote, "Friendship is born at the moment when one man says to another, 'What, you too?' Such are the friendships I have found in Siena. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sue Hoffelmeyer. My husband Richard and I moved here 6 years ago from the Midwest. We are pleased to be members of this active retirement community. I hold a Bachelor's of Science degree in Political Science with a minor in Communication and a paralegal certification. My work experience consists of a constituent service liaison for a district congressional office and as a paralegal for a large international law firm. These disciplines have provided me with the experience to work with an array of people, solve problems, and have given me insight into how legislation and laws affect our association. I have served on the Design Review Committee, I belong to several clubs, and I am an active Coffee with the Board participant. Our community matters to me. As a relatively new and younger resident, the value I will bring to the board is someone who will bring fresh energy, innovative ideas, and new eyes to old routines. I am a person whose voice is undeterred to speak up and ask sharp questions on controversial issues. And I am not afraid to challenge old assumptions and seek new solutions. It is my desire to build upon the vision of Siena, a Tuscan oasis of vibrant retirement living community where strangers are no longer strangers but have become good friends. The relationship between our residents and our current board is often strained. The members of the board do not seem to be listening to the desires of the residents. Thus, our residents are becoming apathetic. I want to change that. I envision more synergy between our board and you, the residents. I am running for the board because I sincerely believe that Siena is ready for a new type of leadership, and I'm that person. I have empathy to give, enthusiasm to show, and a willingness to work hard. I offer you a fresh air to this board because the community is ready to move past that which separates us and get back to more you two moments of friendship and fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Next will be Mr. Sam Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear neighbors, how are you? I'm very happy to be here meeting you all. I'm Shinko Lee on the ballot, but please just call me Sam. I'm kind of a new kid on the block, but actually I've been around for more than 10 years since we bought our first house at Siena in 2003. We have recommended Siena to many of our relatives and friends all over the country. Even my brother-in-law from Canada. I remember the good old days, the property value going up every week, and one of the Model 8120 at Luna Magical sold for about $1.3 million before the real estate collapsed. Housing market in Vegas has recovered over the past couple of years, but Siena has lagged almost all high-end communities in summary. In terms of average price per square foot, Siena is even lower than Sun City Anson in Henderson, a community with no gate. If we use the property value as a measure of the performance of the board of directors, it appears that the current board has, with all due respect, failed the mission statement, which is to ensure that Siena is regarded as the most desirable active adult community in Southern Nevada. I have noticed several areas that can be improved immediately to attract more buyers to Siena before our property value lags behind even more. As a business owner for over 40 years, I have extensive experience in contract negotiation with vendors. I believe we can cut expenses up to 20% without sacrificing the quality or the service level we currently receive. This is the reason I'm running for the board. With your help, we can lower the monthly assessment to under $200, which, along with other initiatives I propose on my ballot statement, will instantly bring more buyers to Siena and increase the property value. If elected, I will immediately beef up the security to protect the homeowners with zero tolerance for tailgaters. No citation will be issued to ladies in this community. Negotiation with the owner of the golf course to install security measures to close the hole of our security network. Restore the resort atmosphere throughout Sienna facilities. Thank you. If you have any questions.
Thank you. Our next candidate is Jay Shafritz.
Remember me? I'm Jay Shafritz. Last year I ran for Sienna's board and received 391 votes, only 6 short of victory. I thank my supporters, ask again for their votes, and assure them I have made every effort to make 6 new friends. Remember a book called All I Really Need to Know I learned in kindergarten? The book still offers Sienna residents some valuable lessons. For instance, share your toys. In Sienna, our toys are things such as the tennis courts, the rotunda tables, and the card rooms. Because each homeowner owns an equal share of these toys, we have no choice but to play nice and work on improving our sharing skills. Another recommendation is to make friends, at least 6 new ones. As children, we made friends easily. It gets more difficult as we grow older. Still, Sienna offers great opportunities for new friendships, even among board members. Finally, be fair. Children instinctively understand that Jack of Jack and the Beanstalk was treated unfairly when all he got was a few beans for selling the family cow. I am concerned about the fairness of our management company, CCMC. Are they using us as a cash cow without giving back fair value? For example, we pay them almost $80,000 a year for general management, but then they take an additional profit of close to 5% of employee salaries. This approaches $50,000. This creates an obvious conflict of interest because the more employees we hire from them, the greater their profits. In 2008, we had about 23 full-time employees. Now we have about 29. Sienna's size has long been frozen at 2,000 houses, so why should the number of employees keep increasing? I have served on the Finance Committee for the past 4 years. In August, we had our initial review of the 2015 budget prepared by CCMC. Included was a recommendation for yet another full-time employee. I asked our general manager, who are you working for? CCMC and using Sienna as a cash cow, or for Sienna and trying to manage it economically? His response was an embarrassed silence. He is in an impossible situation of conflicted loyalties. We must create contractual conditions whereby our manager is loyal only to Sienna. The question of whether or not we continue with CCMC will place the new board. My Finance Committee service and management background qualifies me to participate in the upcoming negotiations. We should not allow CCMC to use us as a cash cow. Vote for me, stop being a cow.
Time is up. I'm sorry, Jay. Next is Mike Singer.
Well, I'm back again asking for your vote. First, a bit of background. My wife Ellen and I are originally from Denver. We moved to Las Vegas in 2000. I spent my early career in transportation in many parts of the country, working in all phases of the industry. My main body of work was in Chicago, Illinois. My transportation career spanned over 40 plus years. As a leader of a $58 million transportation company, I negotiated contracts, handled grievances with the Teamsters Union, and was responsible for the construction or leasing of new truck terminals. I oversaw the planning, decoration, and furnishing of our facilities. I also hired and fired employees and managed budgets of several $1 million. At the time of my retirement, I was responsible for the management of all terminals and 450 employees. My wife and I love our life in Sienna. We are avid sports fans. We love our Chicago Bulls and we love the Denver Broncos. Thank goodness for DirecTV. I enjoy golf and try to play at least twice a week. Sometimes that isn't possible because of the abundance of meetings and workshops while serving on the board. I have some great poker buddies in the community. Ellen and I follow politics, and since we were married 55 years ago, our votes have canceled each other out in many elections. I point this out to illustrate my ability to get along with people who disagree with me. Walking in Siena with my 14-year-old 3-pound, 1-ounce attack dog Max, I realize what a beautiful park-like environment we live in. We feel so fortunate. Siena is a beautiful, well-maintained community. My main interest is in keeping it that way, which is why 2 years ago I ran for the board of directors. I serve as liaison to both the Properties Committee and the Landscape Committee. Both committees are very, very active and very important to this community. The Properties Committee is a hard-working committee considering many ideas to enhance the committee. They are responsible for managing our common areas. They were instrumental in improving the sound system in the ballroom and the new exercise equipment in the fitness center. Siena is blessed with an active and knowledgeable landscape committee. They have spent many hours and debated many ideas and thoughts in planning these upgrades for our entire community. Their vision is a sustainable landscape for the future of Siena, which meets the expectations of the residents.
Sorry, Mike, time's up.
Done? I'm done?
Yep, we're done.
Thank you.
Sorry.
One more thing. Once again, I'm asking for your vote.
We will now start the question and answer period, so line up and ask your questions.
Good afternoon. Am I on or
No.
it's off? Good afternoon. No? Not on. I am on? Okay. I have a question that I'm addressing the board, and I'd like each member to express themselves positively or negatively. The thing I'm talking about is the Parkinson Disease Dance Program. You may not be familiar with it, but it has been actively encouraged here by our Siena board. It's a no-cost program. The young lady who offers the dance does it without salary.
Ernie, you only have 1 minute, so you have to ask your questions.
Okay, the question is, will you continue? Currently, 3/4 of the people attending are residents. Will you vote yes or no to continue this program?
Okay, Sue will be our first responder.
I'm not familiar with the program, but my father-in-law suffered for years with this disease. So knowing what all entails to go through it, I would be fully in support of it.
Sam, would you like to respond?
I'm sorry, I really didn't quite get your question, but I will be happy, because all this knocking, I will be happy to address it face to face later on.
Sounds like a politician. We know what's best for you.
Well, thank you. So elect me.
Jay is next.
With all due respect, I didn't understand a word you said. Would you please explain the question succinctly?
Question very simply. Currently, we are doing the humanitarian thing of hosting Parkinson Dance at no cost.
The humanitarian of what?
Hosting
Hosting what?
humanitarian Parkinson Dance
Let me
in the
see,
Rimini Room here in Siena. The
Ernie,
young
let me-
lady who does it for free.
Ernie, let me see if I can get them to understand. There is a Parkinson's class that is given by Melanie. I think most of us know Melanie from the fitness center. She teaches this class. It is free. I believe it is sponsored by the Parkinson's Association. I thought that it was an ongoing thing. You seem to have more information that it's not. And I guess
If I
Bernie
may,
is-
then
Bernie is-
Chelsea addressed the group today and said it will no longer be free. Anyone who's not a resident will pay $5 to attend. Melanie said she will not
Yeah,
continue.
Bernie, I think.
Okay, I will answer the question. Yes, I support education and information about Parkinson's disease. Period.
And Mike?
I was not aware that we had a program of this nature. I'm more than happy to support this program. I am asking you, are you saying that we are saying that anybody that comes that is not a resident has to pay $5?
Yes, sir.
That's standard policy.
Currently, for the past year and a half, there was no charge. There are organizations here, I believe it's Tennis, offers a room for free 1 day a week.
Well, number one, I don't know, but I would be more than happy to look into this issue and learn a little bit more and then make the wise decision.
Okay, thank you. Next questioner?
And I'll just finish up with, I don't know, no, I don't know enough about the program, but I fully support treating everyone equally. And if we charge every non-resident to take a class or to participate in cards or to go swimming, unfortunately, I support charging non-residents for this class as well.
Yes.
Next questioner, and you have 1 minute to ask your question.
I'll try to be brief. In 2 days, this board will perhaps be making a decision as to whether to support a significant upgrade to our gate and camera system, the way we process people going into the gates and the cameras that basically record who goes in and out. Those dollars are in the order of $100,000 that we're planning on spending, and it is within what we have allocated for it, in our reserves. My question to the candidates is, how would you approach making a decision on whether to support this effort or not? What your methodology would be, what kind of questions you would ask, and how you would figure out how to vote on this key significant improvement to Siena.
We'll start with Sam Lee answering the question.
Well, again, I'm not very familiar with the situation because I'm, as I said, a new kid on the block. But let me put it this way. Regardless what type of contract you're talking about, I'll be able to negotiate with the vendor for better pricing. At the same time, I'll be able to upgrade the service we have. And, there's a certain way of negotiation, and I have to understand what's the true scope. But anything, I would like to also, as a politician, also follow up with the question I didn't get a chance to answer the other gentleman. That is, if there's anything we can do on the board to enhance the property value or improve the residents' health, I'm all for it. If it takes that I have to dig out my money from my own pocket, I will support it as well. So I don't believe this is all the answer you're looking for. But then just please contact me. You got my email address, and I'm very easy to access. You can call me 24/7. Thank you.
Jay?
I'm familiar with this because we discussed this in the Finance Committee a few weeks ago, and I voted in favor of it. The reason being, this new technology is what's known as a force multiplier. This is a military term, meaning that if you take a rifleman and you give that rifleman a machine gun, suddenly he's 100 times more powerful than an individual rifleman and more effective. Same thing with this. By giving this technology to our guards and to us as well, because this allows you to stay at home and communicate with the guard gates. You won't have to call them anymore in order to tell them your GE repairman is coming. You just type it into the program and they know to do that. That frees up the guards in order to do other things like chase bad guys or let more people in the gates. So it's a force multiplier. It tends to be worth many times the money you pay for it over the long term. So I'm in favor of technology like this.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, Don, I believe this is part of the Dwelling Live program. And if I'm not mistaken, in the reserve, I think we have 155,000 for cameras that we're going to apply this Dwelling Live situation. I think we have the number down about $93,000, if I'm not mistaken. And I know you have been instrumental in looking at some differences in cameras, and I'm waiting for your advice whether the new cameras are acceptable or we can do it on a cheaper basis. But yes, I would vote for it.
Likewise, I would vote for it. I do want to correct Jay. We're not arming our security guards with machine guns. Just wanted to make that clear. He said machine guns. He didn't mean it that way. Although that would improve security. Yes, the safety committee has looked at this and they're recommending it. The finance committee has vetted this. I think there are a couple of final questions about whether they've done a good cost comparison. But in general, I think it should be an excellent program and improve or reduce dramatically the number of cars that are lined up waiting to get in on the front gate.
Sue?
Well, I haven't been privy to the exact information, such as Jay and the two other people on the board, but, you know, we need all the new technology for this community to continue to keep it safe. All of us are aware of the new developments going in around us. The new development with Sun City downtown coming in. Crime is going to increase, and we want to keep Siena safe and secure. That's a challenge because we are a community that we have a golf course that runs directly through it. If this new technology is good, I'm for it, but I'm also a physical conservative. I want to know the dollars, what we're getting for it, and I have full faith in Barry Lingle for the safety committee, and I understand, Don, that you've been working on that also, and you're good with numbers. So, you know, if it's a good thing, you know, I think it should have been presented more to the residents, and I have a question with why it wasn't on the message board or wasn't posted by the safety committee or the finance committee with regards to what it is and what it entails, so it could give the residents more information and we could all decide together when it's a good and profitable thing for us. But from what I'm hearing, I like it so far. I just want to have some more information, but I would support it if it would really make this community safe and secure.
Next question?
Yes. We've had multiple problems with the powers that be at the golf course. I would like to know how you intend to solve the problem of the pump at the pond's not working and being given ridiculous excuses for why not. I would like to know what type of strong action you would take to have the powers that be at the golf course maintain their property and fix what has to be fixed that is on their property that surrounds the Siena homes.
Thank you. We'll start with Jay.
This is a problem that's been going on for quite some time in a variety of areas. Sometimes we've reached agreement with the golf course, like with the little bugs that were running around, and we agreed to pay for the insecticide if they would do the spraying. because they weren't going to do it otherwise. Sometimes they simply refuse to do things that they have a legal obligation to do because they create a nuisance that blows over to us and we have to deal with the smell. Well, there are remedies for this. It's called the law. We have lawyers. They have lawyers. It gets expensive sometimes. But it seems to me that if your neighbor really creates an inhospitable situation in which people literally cannot live their normal lives, then we have to take the most rigorous possible action. And if that means a lawsuit, so be it. End of discussion. Thank you.
Mike Singer?
Well, Arlene, I gotta tell you something. As you probably know, another one of my jobs over the last 2 years has been the liaison to the golf course. Now, anybody that would like that job, they can have it, okay? Let me just give you a few things. Now, I know you and Harvey called Clark County here last week. I'm fully aware of that, about the mosquito problem.
No, about the,
And the lakes and the pumps. Well, Clark County did come out, they checked it, there isn't a problem with mosquitoes. Now, as of either today or tomorrow, the new pump is going to be installed. I was told this on Friday. They're also, just as a precautionary measure, they did put in mosquito traps around there. Dealing with the golf course is not as easy as you think. They have a situation, their number one concern is their golf course. That's their business. We have been able to get them to clean up, Sue Hoffelmeyer, she'll understand what I'm talking about. Behind her house, she had a mess. We finally got it cleaned up. It's not an easy thing to do. I will continue to try to do my very best. But lawsuits, the board has written letters to Dr. Lee. By our attorney, we sent letters, and guess what? We don't even get answers. So all I'm saying, it sounds like an easy situation, but it is not as easy as you think.
I don't think it's easy. I think it needs a creative solution and something that the board members have not addressed.
Well, if you have that creative solution, I would love to hear it.
Next is Mike Cutler.
Okay, it's pretty simple. Here's the solution. Would you all just start playing golf every day at Siena Golf Course? Because I'll just tell you, they have done a lot more work on that golf course in the past year than they have in the previous 3 years. And I gotta tell you, I think it's the economy. If they don't have people playing golf there, they don't have the money to turn around and fix anything. And that's when the place started going to pot. And I'm hopeful that as the economy improves, they will get back on the stick and do their job. I realize that may be ridiculous of me to think positively about that, but I have seen dramatic improvement in the past year, and wouldn't you know it, the economy's better. I don't favor going after them legally because it's going to cost us far more in legal fees than it will to get something done.
Thank you, Mike. Sue?
Well, as Mike said, we've been working together, but the job isn't done, and I'm doing it myself. I'm an old farm girl, and I'm picking it up.